Well, look at that hand. Whose hand could that be? That's mine. Welcome back to the Superpilotish channel. Check it out. Flying an airplane today. And what I'm going to be showing you is, I'll kind of talk you through it a little bit. And I'm going to be showing you two landings. I'm sitting in the right seat of this Cessna 150. And I just figured I'd show you guys that I actually do fly airplanes. And then, yeah, so we're just coming up on the Windsor airport. We were cleared to go in and do a stop and go. So a stop and go is when you stop and then you go. Now you go in inland and you have as much time as you want on the runway to get all settled in. Maybe you bring some flaps up, check out this and that, and then go take off again. So that's a stop and go. Now you're gonna see my my hand, my instructor hand talking here. And I never really noticed how much I did that until I recorded this. And but yeah, you use whatever means necessary to communicate with your student that hey, this is where you gotta go, man. So yeah, this student has flown into the Windsor airport before, and yeah, we're going to be joining what they call a right base over here. And you'll see when the airplane turns, you'll see the downtown Detroit kind of pop up on the skyline way in the distance, in the bottom right of the windscreen. And here we go, turning. And something funny happened in the turn here. Okay, there's downtown Detroit. And yeah, so now we're on our right base is what they call it. So we're gonna go up here a little bit, descend a little bit more to about 500 feet above the ground, and then turn right again, and we're gonna go in and land. But you can see me fooling around with the radio here because for some reason it just started getting all staticky, and it was just really, and we couldn't hear the control tower, we couldn't hear other airplanes. This was this is getting a little bit stressful for me, but I told the student, okay, keep flying your plane. And I was fooling around with it is a little bit older radio, so I was messing around with the volume knob and the frequency selector. I checked the jacks to see if they were plugged in properly, and it was just getting really nasty here. And I thought at some point, okay, well, we'll turn the volume down on that. We were cleared for a stop and go. So let's just concentrate on getting the airplane on the ground, and then we'll figure out what to do after that. So that's one of the things that if you're unsure what to do, sometimes the air traffic controllers just do the last thing that you were cleared to do. So we were cleared to do this, and if he gave us any other instructions, too bad, we had a radio malfunction. And here we go. And yeah, my student did a pretty good landing here. He was doing it with 30 degrees of flap, and I don't know if you can hear it, but he did a good landing with the stall warning horn was going off on touchdown, and that's ideally what you want to hear. And then he slowly brought the nose wheel down. That was might have needed a little bit more of crosswind correction there, a little bit of side slip action with the rudder, but I didn't feel like overwhelming him, and it was a safe amount of crab when he landed. So overall, good job. And that's another thing too, is that we haven't been flying in quite a while. So, and here I am trying to talk to the air traffic controller. And then I asked the tower, hey, how do you read? And he said he was reading me 5, so which means loud and clear. And then I heard him back, so there must have been just some local interference. Sometimes you'll get that going over high power lines if the shielding, electrical shielding, isn't that great in the airplane for the wires and stuff. Yeah, it's a little weird. But here we go. We're on the takeoff roll here. We're going to check. We got our full power going. And, yeah, we're going to kind of take off and fly from Windsor back to Leamington, where the airplane is originally from. So there we go. We're taking off. Hey, look at that. Yeah, so this is, I figured I'd get a video. I mean, I just kind of stuck the GoPro camera to the side window of the airplane, so it looked like it was shaking around a lot, but it also looks like that the GoPro's, I guess, it's got something in there to mitigate the shaking of it. So, and I wasn't sure exactly where I should point it, but it's like I wanted to have. Basically, I wanted to have it so you could see me flying the plane, so I don't look like some kind of phony. But you can kind of see my hands a little bit, and you can see. Oh yeah, to the right there, that's a bunch of solar panels. If you're ever flying to the Windsor airport, and don't crash your plane into the solar panels there, because no search and rescue is allowed to go in there, or no fire trucks, no ambulances, no police. Nobody is allowed to go into those solar panels for any type of rescue. Even the fire trucks at the airport are not allowed to go where those solar panels are until the entire thing is shut down. So there's lots of fields around. And I always used to tell my students the exact same thing I'm telling you. There's lots of other fields. Go land in there if you can't quite make it to the runway. But so far we've been lucky at the Windsor airport that no one's had any incidents involving those solar panels. But oh well, there we go. Now you know. And I would imagine that that's the same at any other facility like that. So don't even, hey, you might think, oh, there's a little grass road in between those solar panels, I'll land on that. No, don't do that. So, and yeah, so I figured here we are, we were cleared for a right turnout, and then we're gonna head back to Leamington. And so we're doing climbing turn. It was a really pretty hot day. We were fully loaded up with fuel and 2 passengers, and she wasn't climbing. She wasn't climbing too fast, but it was yeah. Well, other than that little radio problem, which kind of went away, everything about the flight was pretty good. This is not. I figured this would be a good time to record this, because it's most of the flight was just straight level, and that might be kind of boring to watch. But so I cut some of that out, and then so that was my student did that landing. And when we get back to Leamington, you'll see how the super pilotish can do his super pilot landing. Might not be totally super pilot, it might just be super pilot-ish. Yep, so here we are. We're heading kind of, what direction would this be? This would be southeast. And yeah, still climbing up, everything's running fine. And what else can I tell you here? Not too much. Lots of the land around Windsor is very flat. You can see, hey, you got some brown fields, you got some green fields, you got some roads. I think that's, I don't know if that's the Highway 401 we're going over right there. Can't really tell. But, yeah, we're pretty close to that, I'd imagine. And, yeah, so we're just going to keep on flying out here. And what else can I tell you? There's some nice fluffy clouds. Those are called cumulus clouds. They're fluffy. They look like the Simpsons. The Simpsons. Yeah, cumulus clouds. Well, the visibility was really good that day, and no smoke or anything like that from any of the forest fires that are apparently still going on way up north. But the last time I'd gone flying around Windsor was we got totally smoked out. Like there's no way that you could see this far when the smoke was around. You could only see probably just a few farm fields away. There's about a mile or two visibility, and definitely no horizon like that. So you can see here where the nose of the airplane's pretty much right on the horizon. And yeah, most little airplanes, if you stick the nose on the horizon, it'll give you some appropriate speed to climb at, even if you don't know the appropriate speed for the plane. Most little planes are kind of set up that way. And okay, I think we're leveling out here, and you can see where the nose is a little bit below the horizon now. See if he brings the power back on the tachometer. Oh well, who knows? Yeah, so fly, here we go. And I had a lot more video of this. I lost on the approach to Windsor. I lost, I don't know, I deleted one of the bits of video, and I thought, hey, that's not right. But turns out I didn't really need it. This is okay, we are flying. That's just coming up to Essex here. There's the bottom right corner of the windshield. There's a bunch of trees there, and that's the town of Essex. So that is the I don't know, I guess capital town. Whoa, what's this here? So we're gonna do warp speed to Leamington. There we go. That's our route that we took on Google Maps. Oh, hey, look at this. Wow, look at that. That's Lake Erie down there. That warp speed really worked. I tell you, these Cessna 150s, they can get pretty speedy if you got the warp speed option on it. So, yeah. And, yeah, we're going to go, I'll be joining what they call a downwind leg of the circuit, or the pattern as the Americans like to call it. And so I'm kind of doing a little turn here, and I will be flying parallel to the runway. That's just a little road down there. And yeah, so parallel to the runway would be on my left. And then we turn left and turn left again, and we'll be all lined up with the runway. And what's this here? Oh, look at that, in that little rear view mirror you can see my student fooling around on his phone. Never even noticed that. Yeah, okay, I remember that. So, yeah, I don't know what to do with that little rear view mirror. I don't know who put that rear view mirror on the dashboard. It's not like there's any traffic coming up behind you, or I don't know if you got some Messerschmitt on your tail of your Cessna 150. You might have to shake them. But that's kind of funny. Maybe you see if your passengers are doing okay in the back. Or, well, I mean, I guess you could use a rear view mirror in a plane just to look for traffic, but who knows? Now we can watch my student mess around on his phone. Okay, and we're on our downwind here. We're doing some downwind pre-landing checks. Make sure everything's cool. And what am I doing here? Reducing the power a little bit. I guess we're going to slow it down. And yeah, you'll see that point going right out into the lake. That's Point Pelee National Park. So that is the southernmost point of mainland Canada, and the very tip of that point is actually, if you look at the lines of latitude on the map, the tip of that point is more south than the very top of California. So, little known fact. Everybody likes to point that out if they go to Point Pelee. And yeah, nice little park to go into. A lot of birders there. During birding season, that is the place to go. Maybe I'll do live, superpilotish live from Point Pelee National Park, the birder capital of Canada, or something like that. But I probably wouldn't, because I speak I speak a little bit louder than normal when I'm doing a live stream, so I'd probably scare away all the birds, and the birders wouldn't like that too much. Yep, so here we are. I'm descending descending, and it was kind of gusty that day. Yeah, you see, every pilot can say, yeah, it was gusty. You can blame all your mistakes on that. That's what I do. But it actually was a little bit bumpy there, and kind of hot. And when we were going parallel to the runway, I was looking at the windsock. There's like a little wind sock. There's the runway. Oop, turned a bit too soon. Oh, that's only super pilot-ish. And so the big windsock there that I could see said it had a 90-degree crosswind to the runway. So I figured I'd just kind of keep going. But later on, we found out that at the other end of the runway, I would have been landing with the tailwind. So I mean, this runway is pretty narrow. It's 50 feet wide, and here I'm landing with 40 degrees of flap, so it's full flap, and a little bit of a crosswind from the right. And I wanted to see if I was like over controlling too much on the control column here, but you can see my hand popping in and out. But oh well. Here we go. We're landing, and boom, boom, boom. So we got all three wheels down, and yeah. So we're almost done. Gonna pull over to the right up here, and you'll see me pointing and saying, "Hey, that windsock says that we got a tailwind." So. Yeah, with the water and the daytime heating here, the Leamington airport can be, you don't know what you're gonna get, so you gotta be prepared for anything. But everything was okay, good flight, made it back, and we're gonna hang a right and get off the runway. We'll tell everybody, hey, we are clear of the runway, and you can see me pointing, hey, it's where my thumb was going back. That's where the windsock. There's a little windsock there. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, I'm kind of. It's light, not too bad. So there we go. Made it back to Leamington, and that's fuel on the left. Call in advance if you want to get some fuel at Leamington, and there we go. And we'll just kind of sit here, wrap it up, and that's the end of the flight. So. You guys have a great day.